BTS's eldest member, Seokjin, better known as Jin, has once again proven his unmatched influence by setting a new milestone in the K-pop industry. American media outlets are abuzz with praise after it was confirmed that Jin will make history as the first K-pop soloist to hold multiple consecutive concerts at Incheon's iconic Munhak Stadium under his highly anticipated Run Seokjin tour. The announcement has sent ripples across the global entertainment industry, with major US outlets labeling it a groundbreaking moment for K-pop history and applauding Jin's ability to mobilize fans on an unprecedented scale. As the first BTS member to complete his military service, Jin has been steadily building his solo career, and this tour cements his place not only as a vocalist, but as a record-breaking live performer. American media emphasized the significance of this achievement, comparing it to milestone concerts once held by global pop giants. Billboard highlighted how Jin's tour marks a new chapter in Asia to global crossover concerts, while Variety called the decision to host back-to-back shows at a stadium of this magnitude a sign of Jin's rare star power and staying influence. CNN Entertainment went as far as to suggest that Jin is redefining what it means to be a soloist from a K-pop group. The Run Seokjin tour, scheduled for later this year, is expected to draw over 120,000 fans across its consecutive nights in Incheon alone, with tickets selling out in mere minutes during pre-sale. The frenzy around ticketing was so intense that both Korean and American media reported on the phenomenon, noting that scalper prices soared to nearly 20 times the original value within hours. Fans have already begun trending hashtags like #RUOKJINFTOUR and #JINHistoryMaker across platforms such as X, flooding timelines with celebratory messages and emotional tributes. The ARMY's devotion has become a central narrative, with American press acknowledging the global fanbase's extraordinary role in Jin's success. Industry experts also predict that the Run Seokjin tour will have a ripple effect on international touring standards, as Jin is poised to set a precedent for solo K-pop stars achieving stadium-scale recognition usually reserved for Western superstars. In the words of Rolling Stone US, Jin is not just riding the BTS wave, he is creating a solo legacy of his own. As the countdown to the tour begins, all eyes are on Jin. The anticipation is not just about the music, but about witnessing history being made in real time. With the world watching, Jin's Run Seokjin tour may very well redefine what it means to be a global idol in 2025. The global spotlight has firmly shifted to Incheon, where BTS's Jin is set to etch his name into the annals of music history. His Run Seokjin tour, already confirmed as a record-breaking event, is being hailed by American outlets as a once-in-a-generation spectacle that will shape how the music industry perceives K-pop's global reach. American journalists have emphasized how rare it is for any artist, let alone a soloist fresh from military service, to achieve the feat of multiple consecutive nights at a stadium like Munhak. The New York Times called Jin's upcoming shows a historic declaration of independence as a solo performer, while Los Angeles Times highlighted that Jin is setting a benchmark even Western artists would envy. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is the context in which it arrives. Jin's return to the stage comes after nearly 2 years of hiatus due to military service. Many speculated whether he could sustain the global attention he had before enlisting. Yet, in the months since his discharge, Jin has done more than simply return. He has redefined the trajectory of his career. From receiving prestigious awards like the Fan and Star Choice Solo at the 2025 The Fact Music Awards, to headlining global fashion events in Milan as Gucci's ambassador, and now commanding stadium stages, Jin has become a symbol of resilience and global influence. American media has been particularly fascinated by the cultural crossover effect Jin embodies. Outlets such as Variety and Billboard point out that Jin's ability to headline major fashion weeks in Europe while simultaneously preparing for stadium-scale concerts in Asia showcases an unparalleled duality, one of both cultural ambassador and world-class musician. According to Forbes, Jin is not just performing. He is creating a blueprint for global stardom that merges music, fashion, and cultural diplomacy. The Run Seokjin tour also speaks volumes about the power of ARMY, whose unwavering loyalty continues to drive Jin's career to new heights. With hashtags like #JINHistoryMaker and #RUOKJINFTOUR still dominating global trends, even American late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert have mentioned Jin's tour during broadcasts, a testament to how his influence permeates beyond traditional music coverage. Behind the scenes, industry insiders predict that Jin's concerts will boost not just K-pop, but also the South Korean live music economy significantly. Early reports suggest that hotels in Incheon are fully booked for the tour dates, with international fans flying in from over 50 countries. The Korean Tourism Board is already preparing for a surge in visitors, echoing what American media has described as the BTS effect, magnified by Jin's solo magnetism. As preparations for the Run Seokjin tour ramp up, American commentators are framing the event not merely as a concert, but as a cultural phenomenon. In the words of Rolling Stone US, what Jin is about to do in Incheon is not just for ARMY, not just for Korea, and not just for K-pop. It is a message to the world that music, when fused with authenticity and passion, can break every barrier, be it language, geography, or genre. With his poised confidence, unmatched vocals, and connection to fans, Jin is set to deliver performances that may become reference points for years to come. His journey from completing military service to selling out stadiums illustrates a narrative of triumph against the odds, one that American media has eagerly embraced as proof of K-pop's unstoppable evolution. And so, as the Run Seokjin tour approaches, there is no doubt that Jin is no longer just a member of BTS. He is a phenomenon unto himself, a global icon whose story continues to inspire millions across continents. And now, as the world holds its breath, all eyes are on Incheon. Jin is not simply preparing for another concert, he is preparing for history. The Run Seokjin tour is more than a performance. It is a declaration that Jin has ascended into a league that even American and European media admit rivals the greatest entertainers alive. Speculation swirls. Will Jin's tour break global live streaming records? Will it redefine what it means for a K-pop idol to go truly global, without borders? American outlets from CNN to Billboard say yes, and ARMY around the world seem determined to make it happen. This is no longer just Jin the singer, Jin the idol, or Jin the ambassador. This is Jin the history maker, a man whose very presence can shut down airports, crash social media, and now fill stadiums with a roar so loud that even New York and Los Angeles will hear it from across the Pacific. As the first note of his concert draws closer, the question is no longer whether Jin will succeed. The question is, how far can he go? Could this be the moment when the eldest BTS member transcends K-pop itself and cements his name alongside the greatest icons of music history? One thing is certain. When the lights dim in Incheon's Munhak Stadium and the stage explodes with the sound of thousands chanting, Jin, 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 the world will witness something that no chart, no award, and no headline could ever fully capture. The living proof that history is not written by chance, but by legends. And Jin, BTS's eldest, is ready to prove once again that he was born to be legendary. The Run Seokjin tour has already surpassed what many thought possible, yet the story is far from over. Each update from Big Hit only fuels the fire. Each leak about stage design, setlist, and global live streaming multiplies the anticipation. The stadium itself, Munhak, is no longer just a venue. It is becoming a landmark of music history. Fans compare it to Madison Square Garden, Wembley, or Tokyo Dome, yet some argue it will surpass them all once Jin takes the stage. Global media are not holding back. European outlets frame Jin as the new benchmark for Asian pop culture, while American press outlets openly speculate that this tour could rival Michael Jackson's History Tour, or even Beyoncé's Renaissance era. These comparisons are shocking but undeniable, because the numbers, the scale, and the passion behind Jin's movement are unlike anything the industry has seen in decades. And then there is ARMY. The global fandom has transformed Jin's concerts into a cultural uprising, flooding timelines with hashtags, organizing massive fan projects, and ensuring his name dominates global trends for weeks on end. Each banner, each synchronized lightstick, each fan chant is part of a larger narrative. Jin is not only an artist. They see him as history in motion. But behind the roaring applause lies the deeper story of a man who once stood quietly at the edge of the spotlight. Jin, the eldest, the so-called young of BTS, has now turned that quiet resilience into an unstoppable wave. His voice, his presence, and his artistry are now the center of global attention, commanding headlines in New York, Paris, Seoul, and beyond. And so, the countdown continues. When the lights dim in Incheon, the entire world will tune in, not just fans, but critics, fashion houses, journalists, and even rivals. Everyone wants to see if Jin can deliver on the impossible.